Hello, this is Alechius, and welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. As the French, in our continued wars against the Japanese nation and the Chinese nation, very active in the Far East. Upon further thought and review of our shipbuilding capacity and the size and complexity of the ships we are building, I've decided we will build two at a time. So we're going to go back to ship design and we're going to build two battleships and two battlecruisers, and they will be together forevermore. So those are our battleships and then our fast battleships, which would be easier to track if they were called battlecruisers. So be it. But we can build all four at the same time and have a little bit left over, not a lot, for our further projects. Everything else we've done for the month, so we can proceed and see what shenanigans we get up to for the next month. Oh yeah, that's right, we got Western India. Forgot about that. We're all over the place. Like, this campaign is already won. We won. This is not in doubt. But we are not done, because it is 1928. I don't remember the end date. I think it's 1950. A Japanese submarine dares to go after one of our invasion fleets. I'm going to interpret that as forced to the surface, where it engages in a brief gun duel with our brave destroyer Braun-l'Abbas. Not spoken with a French accent, my bad. And is subsequently sunk. Oh, an actual fight. We've got a 9,000-ton heavy cruiser for 7,500 tons, cruisers, and two 1-ton destroyers against one of our battlecruiser detachments. Alright, we're already pointed at the enemy. Let's have our destroyers follow our cruiser as per our doctrine. Oh, they're low fuel. It's alright. The battle cruisers are not low fuel? They're close. How about the destroyers? They are low. That's what I expected. This is going to be the two battle cruisers versus everybody else, because our escorts are just too low on fuel. I suppose a stern refueling was not quite a thing yet. That looks like the heavy cruiser, just by silhouette. Do a nice, gentle turn to port to expose the rear guns. We'll reduce speed for the accuracy and to help with our fuel, because we don't want to run out halfway through the battle. Very real possibility. I've already used 3%. Full salvo, multiple hits. Looks like we have retargeted. I'm going to continue our port hand turn, or resume. I would like it to be exactly 5%, or 5 degrees. There are the torpedoes. And we will turn away, not towards, as is our normal. Oh, we're going to be right in the way. Rudder midships, don't turn back into it. Oh, we're turning back into it. Come on. You can get out of the way. No, we're going to sideswipe it. Donk. But it's a dud due to the terrible angle. Did Triton take a torpedo? She sure did. I should have been paying attention. Go ahead and detach the Triton. Have her follow Thetis instead. And if our light ships ever catch up, they can follow Triton. Lost in our little private battles for a few minutes there. Reassessing where the rest of the battle can and should proceed. Wow, Triton really got hammered. And now we're using a lot less fuel. Now that we're not sitting there at maximum speed. No, oh yeah. Oh, power 14-inch, high explosive, 10,000 damage each. That destroyer ceased to exist. Wow. Rudder midships as the main battery retargets the destroyer. I suppose it is closer and the cruiser is not doing well. There we go. That was a main belt penetration. 26,000 arbitrary damage points. Good golly. Are these using high capacity shells? No, just nose fused. Looks like they've got a 7-inch. Well, let's look at effective armor. 80% quality, so let's go low on the armor. 6-inch belt. 80% of that. 11 inches effective. See how she handles the next salvo. Over pens instead of partial pens. Keep the Triton using the high explosive then. And there she goes. Switch back to HE and turn in. Our light cruiser has finally caught up. Do I have to worry about torpedoes? Well, I've got to re-identify. There it is. Now following our doctrine by going in towards the torpedoes. How about that? firing at Triton, maybe? No, I think they were firing at the path we were going to take in the middle of this turn, and then we got out of the way. Well, too late to do anything about it now. We're going to take one in the nose. Luckily, dud torpedo. How much armor is on these light cruisers? 5-inch main belt. I think I want the secondaries to be AP. Yeah, we're getting a lot of flooding hits. Ah, that might be a bad choice. Cutting in. Well, looks like it'll be alright. Can cut down to 26 knots though. Flooding hit from a high explosive shell. Oh yeah, that's bad. Very bad. Blew open every seam and pipe to the exterior on the front half of the ship. Yeah, and Zhoushan will not survive much longer. Oh, these were Chinese. For some reason I thought we were fighting the Japanese Navy, and I should know they don't have very many ships left. Ping Ding Shan. Alright, every gun's gonna shift. Looks like they're going between the masts. The cruiser shells. There it is. Next round of torpedoes. Get an eye on those. And rudder midships. Yeah, that's a lot of flooding hits. I don't think they're going to last too much longer. Take a look. I haven't really been paying attention to the enemy ships much. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Casemate penetration. I think that hit, what, 62,000 damage? Yeah, there. Look at that. Right there at the last moment. That's crazy. That was not entirely beneficial to us. It was not a bad fight, though. We'll repair the damage, no problem. That takes out one of our Battlecruiser pursuit forces. Nah. We're gonna want to poke Hong Kong at the very least, if we can't light damage, really. I'm not so sure about that. 4 transports in East Asia. And the army initiates against North Honshu. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out so well. Can I get an eyeball on that? Yeah, I don't care how low their logistics are. I don't think you're going to be able to do that. So yeah, we have very good chance to succeed there. And we've got 1 month from the completion of that one to move our ships over to northern Hokkaido. Then Japan will be relegated to only North Honshu. Really awkwardly shaped. Oh, that was not Manila. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. There we go. We had one of our groups in Comoron Bay. I did remember that. don't think we have anybody else repairing anywhere else. Come on, I don't want the port. I don't think there's anything in Batavia anyways. Tokyo, I don't think we have anybody in any of the Japanese ports yet. East Pacific, we are clear. Back to the West Pacific, they're headed in for repairs. We have the one group heading here to try to intercept the Japanese raiding fleet of 2 heavy cruisers. 3 heavy cruisers, 3 light cruisers, 2 light cruisers total. Ooh, there's a Battlecruiser up there too. I don't know what this group's gonna go after. That should be everybody. This is our new fleet, isn't it? Yeah. St. Louis class. Dwarfed by the super battleships that we have designed now. Insanity. Transport capacity is looking good. Not worried. We've kind of settled on our designs, so I don't actually care about the technology at the moment. We're not going to rush anything. Alright, we have done our battleship and our battlecruiser slash fast battleship. We're going to go back in and we're going to design the heavy cruiser to go with it. If I did not mention it last episode, the 2 designs for the design concepts for the battleship and the fast battleship came from Mike James, who's been contributing for a long time to the channel. Always full of suggestions. I can't always accommodate, which is a shame. But this is a good time for it, as the heavy cruiser also comes from Mike James. Alright, he asked for full displacement, narrow beam, deep draft, I believe. I think this whole fleet is supposed to be that way. We're going to have plenty of crew. Oh, the draft is actually supposed to be modestly deep. Max range, this is a hull optimized for 34 and a half. I'm going to use oil 2. We'll go with diesels. Best maneuverability with our standard balanced. We're accepting all of the flaws now. Torpedo protection 1. Didn't mention anything about the hull, but did mention best damage control, so I'm going to go ahead and just max all that out. Did they ask for best citadel? No. But for a heavy cruiser, all or nothing makes a lot of sense. You could do turtleback. We did do max displacement, so we'll go with the larger superstructure. Rear tower, we have the iterative improvements until we get to the aux tower, which has reduced damage control but better long-range accuracy. And a middle turret. We can see if we can fit that. I'm curious now. I kind of want to put a 5th turret on this one. We'll throw on the Mega Super Ultra Ridiculosity funnel, which is actually great. Fits well. We'll want not small guns. I don't think we can do that. 11-inch are Mark 4s, 10s are Mark 4s. We have Mark 5s for the 9-inch. Looking at it, we have 21 kilometer range, Vice 25. Fire rate is almost 2 rounds a minute versus 1 round a minute. Competing with an HE damage of 530, Vice 1100. That's comparable. Damage over time. So do you want fewer larger packets or more smaller packets? I'm thinking triple turrets. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like it. Oh my gosh. It should not be like that. Can we fit the... Oh, we can't fit the 9-inch on there. That makes me sad. I want 9-inch on there. You know you want to. Could we perhaps do our bet like that? That probably looks alright. It does. Leave a walkway so that people can get back and forth. Well, it's a little too crowded. Aesthetically, now people can walk between the main superstructure and the B turret. The question is, do we repeat this back aft? So we do 4 triple turrets, advanced 9-inch. Not the best angles on them, but it's a lot of firepower. And that's going to be the primary weight for this. We'll kind of do the rest first. We want our standard ratio. Go with high capacity semi-armor piercing. We'll keep that theme that we've been doing for this fleet composition. Light shells, increased load, 2 powder 2, TNT 4. I don't think it was specified for the heavy cruiser, but it makes sense to keep with it. Go for semi-auto and electrical. 3 rounds per minute. Every 20 seconds is just throwing 12 9-inch shells. It's a lot of firepower. I like it. Question is stereoscopic or coincidence? $19 kilometers. We're looking at 1%. What was it again? it's hard to see a lot of difference there. "10 kilometers is 3.7, 5 is 15. 10 is 3.6, 5 is 14. Stereoscopic being more for further out than that. Well, it's base accuracy. For hitting small targets, I kind of like the idea of coincidence. We'll add in the sonar, radio direction finding, depth charges on a heavy cruiser. Not sure about that. It's almost 100 tons too. So let's throw on what is max. I think we can do this. Still a lot of weight to add with the 3 inner layers. That works out well, actually. Room to spare for either more engine or some modifications. We'll see. Main guns. Let's see. No, I'm not going to do 8-inch. Even the 6-inch are a bit big for that. Oh, we can't place even that up there? Man, what a disappointing. That's such a tease. Has a barbette, but what is that barbette good for? 5-inch. 5-inch quad. Packing in as much as we can into that. Oh, these are Mark IVs. We can't really fit a 5-inch anywhere else. However, it's an 11.5 second reload. Yeah, that's worth it. We can do that. 4-inch is a little bit too big. We can tuck quad 3-inch into there. Should we rotate it? Oh, that's going to interfere on the far side though. I don't... We'll just leave it facing forward. I mean, I could rotate it now, but I'm afraid I'd move it. And put another one right there. Get another. Yeah, right there. Barely fits, tucks in. We could slot them in there. It's going to interfere with the Y turret. Not as much as I thought it would, but it still interferes. And then we'll go for the 2-inch. Why can't I fit them there? Yeah, that's too narrow. Yeah, and that won't fit either. So a bunch of little peewee 3-inch, and I know we can put those as duals. Or I mean 2-inch. Oh man, that's like no extra weight either. Alright. Alright. Can we do quads? Stick the quad there. And then we'll put triples in the other slots. See, I don't want to interfere with that already pretty limited. No, that does not interfere actually. Well then, if that doesn't interfere, why don't we tuck those back a little bit? Oh, that barely interferes. It's fine, it's fine. We don't need to maximize 2-inch guns. No need to be silly. We'll add a little bit to the tops of the 9-inch. Make sure the 5s are fully enhanced. We do want good barbettes. It's going to add some more weight. 35. Oh, man, that's a lot of extra weight. Just a half knot more. We can put some armor on the back deck. Perfect. Upsize the primaries and the 2.5. Now 2.5 inch. $19 kilometers exactly. Make them a little bit stubbier. We can get up to 3 rounds a minute exactly. Or just over. With a 9.5, or we can keep them at, yeah, that's shortening the range a lot. We'll keep them at 9. Maybe even extend them a little bit. Target that 3 rounds a minute. And that's almost 20 kilometers. Let's get it above 20 kilometers. That's more important than 3 rounds a minute. There we go. 21-second reload. I like it. The 5-inch. With that penetration profile, I almost want to cut these down. 9 kilometers. Let's see, -5. That brings us down to 9 kilometers. Really not too bad. 8 kilometers. Firing 6.5 rounds a minute. Or 6 rounds a minute, but we open up at 9 kilometers. We'll go for the -5. I was hoping we could upsize the 3s. Nope, they have to be 3. It's okay. Can we extend the barrels though? Yeah, I had a feeling it would clip. It's the most we can do. I'm afraid of jamming it against the superstructure, so we'll shorten it a little bit past that. 6-second reload, 10 rounds a minute, and they're quads. Max length for the 2s. Yeah, let's ditch this quad mount. I like the look of it, but it'd be better to have a uniform because they have different ranges and accuracies because we don't have the improved quads yet. So our 5s and 3s are going to suffer. And then our sub 3s will open up after our sub 3s. Fun. I like the design though. No casemates, no torpedo launchers. We got some armor to play with, or room. Wait. See if we can get a 3-inch deck. Balance out with the front. And finish off with the superstructure. Okay. There we have Heavy Cruiser Refuge. We'll throw in a new one. This will be the light cruiser recommended by Mike James. We have our modern light cruiser, which has an excellent speed to it. 35.5 to start. I'm going to keep with the theme. We're going to go for the long range. No recommendation for sizes. We'll do the narrow beam. We'll go for deep draft though. And we may shave her down a little bit. 10,000 ton light cruiser. I think I know basically what we're looking for here will be a hyper modern, well-equipped light cruiser. Triple hull, reinforced bulkheads, anti-flooding, Citadel 5. We are going to want the depth charges. Just an iterative design. Progressively getting smaller. And then we have the rear tower or the aux tower again. Aux tower offering a better damage control and a barbette. And better accuracy. Not by a lot, but it's there. Go for a big funnel. Can we do 2 smaller ones? Nah, it wants to use the mounts. So it's got to be the big one. Best we can do. And then we're looking for 6-inch guns. I'm going to do duels for this one. Trying to find a balance between the forward and the rear. I kind of almost want to do a very fast light cruiser. In which case I could slide this back a bit and add a small funnel back here. Ah, we can't put the 6 there. Rats. Well, let's see what we can do with barbettes. That might be a little... Yeah, that's a little too tall to fit one there. Yeah, I want to try to squeeze them in, if we can. Yeah, that's a little too tall. That has a little dealie that sticks up. That's too tall. Now we're getting into the big ones. That's a tall. This was the first one we tried. That might be too small. And sticks up anyways. I have some ideas. That's too tall. Too tall, too tall. Maybe. No, still sticks up. I don't want that. That's too big. Honestly, I kind of like this one. I don't think... Oh, it snugs in. We won't be able to extend the barrel, but... Aww. I don't like that barbette. That's too tall. Little awkward. They don't all super fire forward. Not what I was really aiming for, but it is what it is. It's what we can do. And then in the back, we have something like this. There we go. We have a little bit of an aft offset, so we're going to need to slide everything forward. Actually, these should be linked. Oh, I don't want that. There we go. There we go. Now we have a forward offset. That is a very busy ship. We'll grab our barbettes. Get our ratios. High capacity. Keep it with semi-armor piercing. Light. Increased load. Tube powder. TNT. Fast reverse. Semi-auto. Actually, I could probably tone that down. How many... What's rotation speed? 8 degrees per second. We'll actually keep that. We are going to do it with coincidence on this one. Full sonar. We have the depth chargers. Radio direction finder. Add in our belt, our deck. We're going to go overweight. We can sacrifice a little bit of the deck armor. And probably the belt armor. And then we get into there. That is a really long range. Yeah, we're not expecting to take a lot of battle damage, so we can cut down on the crew. That'll open up the opportunity to throw on secondary guns. Question is what those secondary guns would be. I'm surprised we can pack those in. It gives us 4 4s, which is nice. Ones, they do have some superstructure slots for them. For the 2s. And do we just stack those along and do like we did for the heavy cruiser? That's enough barrels. And then we'll get a torpedo launcher. We want something somewhere. Oh, there we go. We have a slot we can fit right there. It's going to interfere with the 4 inches firing back, but gives us a little bit of capability. Can we actually do that out forward instead? That's just a little too hard. All right, we've got plenty of 3 inch. Let's delete that one. And then we slide it in right there. Two salvos. Do we go for electric? What's that look like? 34 knots? It's nothing. I know it has low visibility. I've really been enjoying the fast ones personally. 60 knots, but only 8 kilometers. Go for 21 inch. I'm surprised those still fit. That gets us up to 8.5 kilometers. Like I said, 2 rounds. Now we're over again. Supersize our 2s to be 3 inch. Actually, I'll go for 2.5. What's their range? 6 kilometers, 8 kilometers, and then 11 kilometers. That works. Could cut down length. Because these are meant for dueling other cruisers and destroyers at shorter ranges. So a higher fire rate would be beneficial. Five kilometers though. Nah, let's leave and extend those if we can. 7. That should get us out to 8. Yeah. I like that a little bit more. That feels a little better. It still leaves us figuring out what we're going to do for armor and weight containment. Double hull. That's most of it. Superstructure is half an inch already. Conning tower. Yeah, I hadn't done those before. Main deck, let's get that down to 3 inch. That's a lot of it right there. The deck armor is very thick. Go down to 2 actually. Alright, now I have all the weight in the world. 2 inch on the superstructure. We have aft weight offset right now. We have to balance that out. There we go. Possibly get 2 inches on the belt again. I feel a lot better about that. What's max for the turrets? Very well. That leaves us a little bit of weight to work with, which is what I really want. Oh man, that's rough. I don't think I can improve that. Well, they are supposed to be dueling at shorter ranges, so make them a little bit better along the belt. Aft deck is very well protected. A little bit of superstructure armor. And then it's a pretty well protected light cruiser. My only disappointment is this. If only we could have that a little bit higher. I'm kind of curious. Can we? Nah, I didn't think we could. It was worth checking. See if maybe we could extend it a little higher. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix that. We have to fix this barbette because it sticks up. I don't want tall. That's too limiting on where it can fire. That's too big. Can I turn it around? There we go. That works. Kind of clips through that one's rangefinder, which I'm not too pleased by. Just do a standard wide. That's better. I feel better about that. Dealing with the problems we have. I like it though. Lots of efficiency, lots of range. You'll be cruising along at max speed forever. But that takes us to the end of this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Appreciate you staying to the end. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone.